Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Borealis Leviathan. This board features Borealis's powder camber, which is rocker in the nose and then a setback traditional camber. So that rocker in the nose is going to give you ease of entry in and out of turns as well as more optimal powder float, while that camber is going to give you all the load, snap, and drive out of this deck. This board is only available in a 164. I rode this board at Copper Mountain on a sunny bluebird day with slightly warmer temps. There was 4 to 6 inches of fresh powder. You had chop, chunder, perfect corduroy, kind of just a good mix of everything to test this board out. And I rode it with my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. Clearly this board is directional and it has that flex to reflect that. So softer nose, progressively stiffening back up to the tail. And right where the camber meets the rocker, there is this optimal flex point. So when you load that camber, it does elevate that rocker a little bit more. The torsional flex is very minimal. It's almost non-existent, but you can slightly feel it. Now, when it comes to stability, this board is smooth and stable. You do get a little bit of chatter out in the nose and that'll slightly resonate underfoot, but you pretty much don't feel it. When you do hit like some really big chop and chunder, just those big death cookies or boulders, you do feel those jarring hits. So there's a slight delay when you load this board up and roll back on the swallowtail before the snap engages. It kind of mutes how much pop you're going to get out of it. This is a board that really does want to stay grounded, but if you absolutely need to boost, you'll be able to get a little bit of pop out. Not a lot, it's enough to get what you need done, but don't expect to be like ollieing over slow signs or just boosting over trees when you come off a pillow popper. It's not gonna happen. Yeah, I didn't butter with this thing. I mean, I tried, I didn't succeed, so we'll just say that that's non-existent. So the one thing to note with carving on this board is that you lead everything outside the front foot. That means you're keeping your hip and your weight outside the front of it to engage it, and even when you crank your knee into the center to push the camber, you're still guiding it with that front foot. You never truthfully disengage it. This changes how those short, tight, quick carves are. They take a little bit more nuance and finesse. It's those medium mellow carves or long swoopy carves where it really comes alive. When you're trying to be more abrupt and lay a deep, hard carve, there's a limitation to it. You notice that you hit a wall. That means you fully bent your back knee in, you're driving off the tail, you got that power, you're still guiding it with the front, and you just can't lay it over any further than what you can do with it because you can't fully disengage that front foot, and that's what stops you from being able to fully lay it over and roop yourself out of a deep carve. Who's this board for? Powder Hound. 100% Powder Hound. So one of the interesting things about this board is that it actually rides smaller than it is. For a 164, it feels more like it's in that high 150s range, and that makes it a little bit more nimble in the trees. I did not have a problem getting into tight trees with this thing. It stayed afloat. I didn't feel like I was riding a giant boat. It just worked. And when you slam into harder stuff, this board stays on top of it. You don't feel like you're gonna just get bucked around. The swallowtail is fully functional, which is nice because you can actually shoot a giant spray out of it. Overall, I was very pleasantly surprised with this board. Comparable boards: the Amplid Snowmalier, the Ride Mountain Pig, the Battalion Surfer. Binding recommendations: the Rome Cleaver, the K2 Bond, the Now Drive. This has been my review of the Borealis Leviathan. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one? Are you gonna buy one? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this snowboard. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really like what we're doing over here and you want to support us further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll see you in another video.